Welcome once again to our encouraging word. I've set for myself a challenge of speaking to you about one verse of each book in the Bible. And now we are up to the book of Numbers. Now, the book of Numbers is a kind of a tale of two cities. It's an intensely discouraging story because it describes the rebellion of the people against God in the wilderness. And on the other hand, it's a very encouraging story because it describes God's steadfast love. He keeps loving these rebellious people. You know, God's plan for the people is to lead them to a land of milk and honey, a land of plenty, a land where the people can thrive and worship Him and serve Him. And on the other hand, the people are afraid and they keep rebelling against God. In fact, God leads them right up to the edge of the promised land, and the people don't want to go in. They're afraid. In fact, they even say, let's go back to Egypt, if you can imagine it. That's the epitome of their rebellion against God. But God keeps loving the people. And one of the ways that God loves them is by guiding them. By day and by night, He guides them. And so we have in Numbers the story of God setting up, describing to the people how they can develop a mobile worship center, which is called the tabernacle, a place where they can worship Him. And God puts a fire over that tabernacle by night and a cloud by day. And whenever the cloud is lifted, then they know to move on. So as long as the cloud stays there, they stay there. And when the cloud moves, they move. God is present with them, and God is guiding them. It's a symbol of God's love and guidance. Listen to this. This is Numbers 9, verse 22. Whenever the cloud was lifted, they would set out. Whether it was 2 days or a month or a year that the cloud lingered over the tabernacle, staying above it, the sons of Israel remained camped and did not set out. But when it was lifted, they did set out. So that's the picture of the way it should be. If the people had just continued to do that, they would have been fine. If when God said to go into the promised land, they had gone in, they would have saved themselves 38 years of wandering in the wilderness. You know, I think a lot of us feel like we're in the wilderness right now. But God is with us. His presence is with us. His cloud by day and His fire by night. He's with us, and we can especially sense that in His Word. So I encourage you, when God says to stay, stay. When God says to go, go. Follow the leading of the Lord, because He wants to lead you to a land of milk and honey. This is the encouraging word of the Lord.